When babies cry, their cortisol levels go up. And we know that high cortisol levels hinders brain.
What happens when parents leave their kids at daycare for the first time? Well, probably 99% of the time, the child cries. Some cry for 2 minutes and then they're just fine. Others cry for an hour, and others cry the entire day. And no matter how many times you explain to them in the morning that you're going to be right back to pick them up at the end of the day, this can sometimes last for days and sometimes weeks in some kids. Do you think these kids' cortisol levels go up when they're crying? Probably. But we're not sitting here saying that every single child of working parents is going to grow up traumatized or have attachment issues, are we? When you put out a blanket statement like crying causes an increase in cortisol levels, which then hinders brain development, fail to provide other important factors like, well, how many hours a day of crying or how many days or weeks or months of crying would it take for those cortisol levels to actually have an effect on brain development? When you fail to provide that information, that statement is completely irrelevant. And I will tell you that sending your kids to daycare or having your infant cry for several minutes to hours, 2 to 3 days of their life will not have those effects. If you provide a nurturing, comforting, and loving home to your child, that is what they're going to get. And this is absolutely backed by research. There is no credible evidence that shows that sleep training is harmful in infants. In fact, there's evidence that shows that sleep training is beneficial for children. And I will easily argue that 2 to 3 days of crying in an infant, which then leads to great sleep at night, is much less harmful than years of sleep deprivation for the child and the parent. Pediatrician, and I am a mom who practices gentle parenting. And I know that there's a lot of people who practice gentle parenting who believe that sleep training is not okay. And I'm here to tell you that that's just not true. Sleep training is a personal choice. If you don't want to do it, you absolutely don't have to. If you do want to help your child learn to sleep well at night, don't let anybody convince you that it's harmful, and don't let anybody shame you for sleep training your child. And there's many ways to go about it. You don't have to do a complete cry it out system. Find a way that works for you and your comfort level.